people's computers and programs.
She revealing it. She is revealing it. She revealing it. She said, I know more about Amelia than even the government knows. Why is Megan literally going to turn around and end up being Amelia? Now look at this. This is so deep. And the whole time CJ is frustrated, y'all. But he's frustrated and he right too. But Camille is right too. But they're different. But you see how Megan revealing, she said, if you put me in the body, I'll help you with Amelia. She still needs this human source in order for her to live. This just like evil spirits, right? This is a spirit that they trying to counterfeit as a robot, right? But it's a real spirit that actually wants to be in a vessel today. And dog, I'm telling you, I had during my awakening, God literally brought this to full fruition in my awakening on how I seen the world itself. I was able to see into the spirit realm, and I was seeing all of the fallen Nephilim spirits and all of the familiar spirits. They were mocking. Some were acting like posers. Some were saying we're still here. Some was speaking from another perspective. I was hearing the sun. I was hearing all type of stuff, dog, in my awakening. But I had to hold on to the Holy Spirit. I heard people that was like, hear me now. It was just deep. I heard relatives. I heard people that's no longer here. I heard all type of stuff. And so holding on to the Holy Spirit is what kept me alive on that journey of New Age, thinking that, you feel me, God was, how was I looking at it? I forget, but it was like I was worshiping the woman as God and leaving Christ out, or whatever the case is. But there is a higher perspective in regards to that, but you cannot have God unless you go through Christ. So it's a lot of mixed logic on understanding, but the Bible do tell us that we are made in his image. He tells us we are made in, him and her are made in our image. And that was one of the like the brain teasers that always caught me up to figure out, like, what is this meaning, Lord? So are you a woman? Are you a man? Are you a woman? Are you a man? You feel me? Trying to figure it all out. God is a spirit when it all comes down to it. What'd you say, CJ? And so, however it goes, he still created wisdom, which wisdom is a woman, okay? And so how God created all things, it all results back to God. So this is imitating Jesus or God, because even Jesus himself is a part of God, right?
Make it sound like a false god.
So Megan now is talking in theory where she like, I will help you. Feel me? From Amelia. Amelia is now a threat, right? Megan wants Amelia to be, this is my perspective now, Megan wants Amelia to be highlighted as a threat to this human, but the human is already aware that Megan is the real threat herself. She never let her go from the first movie of what she remembered by her. She never let her go from the first memory of her because of her vindictive way, how she can get in this and this and this and this, and now she in everything, okay? So this whole little jiggy jungle is different, it's deep, and I'm just listening to her from a way that if you naive, you now, hear me now, will think that, okay, you can help me with this, and I'm gonna be free from this. If you come over here and you help me with my bills and this, that, and the third, now I'm gonna be debt free, baby. I just jumped into a real life situation when you in the okay, new relationship. If you come around me or whatever, you can help me with this. It's gonna take a load lighter off of this. But this human right here, she is not dumb. She is not dumb. She straight up said it. You are Amelia, aren't you? She don't forget the fact that, baby, she turned into the radio while she was also in the house or whatever she was. I forgot the old one. Woo, you get them one kids, baby. They so smart you can't outsmart them. Like, I'm watching the side of my eye. And sometimes it's the baby that you gotta watch, baby. You look at that one baby, you like, oh no, they cannot come over. Wow. But CJ, what was your perspective? What was your perspective that you're trying to clear up? Because you might now be trying to defend something that you don't have to defend. This is why it's so important to be patient. What?
I said you already said it.
Oh, well, if you patient, I had battled with this previously in my gifting growing up through childhood, okay, not knowing I was gifted then. But this just in human perspective, people can challenge your authority, and now you think through operating in your feelings that you may not be doing something correctly, and that can now deviate and make you go through gaslight and make you, if it's a witch or if it's somebody who literally don't have the Holy Spirit, that evil spirit that's in them is now provoking you madly to make you go be upset or make you hear me? It could be your loved ones too. Don't ever get it twisted, but when you have the Holy Spirit, there is no evil spirit that's going to stand against the Holy Spirit, because what a three-cord strand is not easily broken. What God puts together, let no man separate. So your flesh is the one that would get involved. And if you listening to your flesh more than the Holy Spirit, then now you be provoking your sibling. You can do that. You can provoke your sibling, and now they frustrated, and now y'all fighting instead of actually talking about it. You feel me? Like you ever get in that battle? Let me just let that one go. But they're being watched, so they're not gonna do it. And even if they ain't around me, they gotta remember where they from. And if they gon' you feel me? Like if I go too far, my mama gonna do this. So they still have the understanding. Now this is now taking me through discernment to understand there's something else coming up next. Press play. This is deep.
This day, y'all, CJ was frustrated because he was battling. Well, they was battling their gifts or whatever and all the stuff that they was hearing the Lord on. So this is so deep because this can happen in a class when you gifted and you're a prophet. It said in the Bible that when there's many prophets in a room, there needs to be an interpreter because of the fact that someone will get one side of God and God will prophesy in parts. So somebody got that part, somebody got that part, and somebody got that part. He has taught me through patience to understand the gifting of many, right? And so how God do, you have to hear where he is. If you are humble and you're patient and you ain't trying to be seen, you're going to be able to hear it. You know what I'm saying? So as you take a seat back, you're going to hear certain things. But when you don't know and you probably been through it and you ain't never really understand it and you ain't know you was a prophet, you clash with that person clash with this person, or your family gifted. If it's many gifted ones in one house who operate in the spirit of the Holy Spirit, and they have the gifts, okay, there will be many different ways to interpret it or understand it. But however, he was frustrated as heck on this day. However, it will be many more scenes coming because there's way more to this story. But on this one, God only wanted me to give this out for some reason, only this part. I don't know why, but somebody know why, period. And it's so deep because I can say it from that perspective where you ain't trying to be seen. Somebody already in offense, operating the spirit of offense, and they already think like, no, you don't have to be trying to be seen. Like, you could just be thinking you're right or whatever, but however you express it, I can hear your emotional standpoint. So baby, you already revealed and still there is something tugging on you that needs to be healed. However, what I'm saying though, I can be open-minded and still hear this person's perspective in regards to how they're trying to angle it from. But even let's just say in retrospect, right? This person may not be trying to be seen, but yet they feel logically able to prove their point, or they feel logically right, or they hear something more, then they go on that direction from their perspective without hearing the other person, or they can now say, to clarify, I did hear them, but I'm telling you, I'm trying to highlight this. But if you cannot pull back and reserve yourself enough for the other person to speak where they're speaking from, then now you are still revealing a portion of yourself that is impatient. And this can come from very much so childlike behaviors of something that you may have not even learned in your own flesh. And grown-ups go through this, baby. Let's say if we in a line and we ain't got no patience, we've been rushing our day every day, we in a habit. You feel me? This same habit can show up somewhere and you're in the body's alignment. It does not matter. We're not perfect. So get it. You get it, you got it, now you good. And whatever. Don't come for me. You ready for me to tell on me? Whatever. Don't worry about what I ain't do. Because if you don't want to reveal yourself, baby, we on you. We ain't on me. You already know I ain't perfect.
This y'all, and some other people too, that's my mature crowd. They saying it like, well, Ebony, I get what you saying. You do not have to say all that for me to understand. But no, there is somebody ready to argue me, baby. And they ain't going to say it now because they understand that somebody else will understand them. And this is not them being shamed, but this is them being held accountable.
They still love, but baby, stop playing. Now, calm down and listen. Because one thing we do know, right? If we're in a room and somebody says this to us, this is called now self-reflecting. If somebody says that to somebody in the room in an open-minded standpoint, it should not make you feel any less of yourself when you're confident in yourself. If you know that you are not already offended, if you already know that you're not trying to be seen, it don't need to be said unless you are insecure about somebody else thinking you needed to be seen. So, yeah, it's some healing that needs to be there, and there ain't nothing wrong with that. You know what I'm saying? If we're going to be honest, it don't have to be, you feel me? And that's it. But if you want to argue about it, I'll let you have your whole argument, baby, and I'm still going to say what I said. Because it's real. And what's understood don't need to be explained unless you want me to explain. You want me to explain, then you want me to be your mama. I'll be there up until a point, and then I realize I ain't your mama.